Okay, so we've finished symbolizing all the body parts and they are pivoted and ready to move. There's a few things that still have to be done before we can get busy animating this character. And one of those things is to tidy up our library. As you can see, we have all these body parts here now. And the first thing I want to do is create a new folder and title it Body Parts. And in here I'm going to place each one of these new graphic symbols that were created and drag that into the character folder. I'm also going to create another folder called ref for reference, and in this folder I'm going to put this reference symbol and the JPEG in that folder. And I'm going to do two more things within the body and the head symbol. I'm going to put a space before each one of these, and what that will do is sort of create this hierarchy, and basically these are the two most important symbols that are created. They are symbols that contain symbols within them, and then so that's pretty clean. I mean, that is as clean as you can get. All these folders have all these important elements to this character. So now whenever we create a animation where we're going to have this character walk, we could just copy and paste this into the library and have all this information to start animating this character. So that's step one. Okay, so step two is I'm going to go into the body symbol by double clicking the icon for the movie clip here, and in this one we left these spikes unresolved from the last video, and they are not symbols, they are still vector images, and we are going to take these and put them on to their own symbols so they don't float around. Okay, so right now they're all selected, and I have all these layers here, and I'm going to have to pick the right layers and put these spikes where they belong. So when the head moves, this spike moves with the head. When the upper torso moves, these two spikes move with that. The lower or the mid torso has this spike, lower torso and tail, and so on. So that way we're not constantly adjusting these for every movement that this character makes, but the spikes are a part of that character's body. So the first thing I'm going to do is grab the selection tool and select just the top spike, and I'm going to cut it. So edit, cut. So it's gone, and I'm going to unlock the head layer and double click the head, and I'm going to put this on its very own layer, and it's going to be behind the head and right above this left eye. In fact, it could be underneath all of them. It really doesn't matter as long as it's behind these parts. I'm going to call this one spike, and I'm going to paste it. I can hit paste in place, but really you're not going to see it because the registration is a little bit different from the head, from the symbol that we just cut. So from here I'm going to have to grab it and tuck it in there. So let's zoom in there and tidy it up. So that looks good. We can lock it and go back to the body symbol, and so now that spike is attached to the head, so if we ever had to move the head, that spike's going to move with it, right along with it. So that's good news. Lock the head layer, go back to the spike layer, and this time I'm going to select the next two spikes. I'm going to cut them. The hotkey to cut something is Command X on the Mac, and Control X for the PC. So I'm just going to cut those. And with them cut, now I'm going to unlock the upper torso and double click it. And I'm going to delete that line that I missed. Okay, so now I will create a layer, and this layer I will tuck underneath the torso. Again, I'll call it spike. And I will paste it. So Command V or Control V if you're using a PC. And from here I will tuck these behind here, just so. And now when I go back to the body, there they are. They are a part of it now. So we're going to continue doing that with this next spike, this mid-torso spike. So Command X and unlock the mid-torso. Double click it. Oops. Give it its own layer. Bring that layer underneath it so it is hidden behind this shape. We'll title it spike and paste it. Command If you didn't catch what I just did, I had to lock this top layer so I didn't select it while trying to get that spike that pasted behind it. But now it is behind it. Again, we can test it. Yep, it's all part of it. Looking pretty good. So I'll lock it, select this next spike, Command X, and this time we'll go to the lower torso, double click it. Let's lock it to start, give it a new layer. Call this layer spike, paste it, tuck it behind it, back to the body, you can test it, looking good. And the last three right here go onto the tail layer. So cut them, unlock tail, double click it, and I noticed that there's a piece of line that I didn't erase. So I'll lock this one, create a new layer, call it spike, paste, and put these in place. Go back to the body, and voila, we have a tail with spikes attached to it. So I'm going to call that good. Make sure that I save it. And in the next video, we will start creating a walk cycle.